Everybody, Vilisink, back again with Raid Shadow Legends just before Christmas. And in this one, we look at a champion that is my last 6-star champion. It was Akoth the Seared, and as I promised for Mr. Monkey, I appreciate the comment and that you watched the video. You mentioned Rector Drath. Now, before she was a level 50 champion, I proceeded to make her a level 60 champion and then took her into some dungeons, and basically I put all of the healing, revival, the support on her. I put her in with kind of easiest teams to kill. Some champions that fall over quite quick, and she did really well. So how she is built, maybe you'll remember the CVC video. I did say I tried Divine Life, Resilience, all of these HP based sets and whatnot. And the resistance and the HP defense was fine, but the speed was just far too slow. And I wanted her to be quick enough so I could work her cooldown and just get back to what she needs to get back to. So Rector Drath, the nice revenant, fantastic healer. She can work in many sets. She can work in curing, she can work in reflex, so she gets her cooldowns done quicker. Resilience, put in HP, you can put in immortals, you can put in regen. There is just so much you can do with this champion. Now, just now at level 51, she has her base HP at 15,690. Probably goes up a couple of thousand. I'm not too sure. Attack is 955, which is not a point whatsoever. Her HP also just now, it works, it's fine. Defense is 1046, so it's over 1000, which is a very strong base. I've always said if it's over 1000, it makes your 50% HP chest, defense chest, gloves, etc. much easier to build up that stat from. Speed, one of the fastest champions. So we have Sifi, you have Lady Kimmy, Steel Skull, I think maybe there's like Arbiter. So Rector Drath is in top 6, maybe quickest champions in the game. 109 speed for an epic champion. Truly remarkable. Resist is a base of 30, which is really nice. And she has no base accuracy. Depending on how you build her, she doesn't necessarily need it. So I want to show you guys how I have mine kitted out at the moment. She sits on 52,900. Oh, here's the cat. 52,000. So basically 53k HP. I will get a little bit more from her ring and the amulet that she had. 1696 attack, not important. 2250 defense is fine. 260 speed. I wanted her to be quick enough again to work that cooldown, to get enough turns. Just because of her passive heal and so forth, it means that for every ally that I believe takes a turn, they get a heal or she heals. So that just revolves a lot quicker. Crit rate, crit damage, not important. You're not going to build her for damage. 326 resistance and 106 accuracy. So she will resist enough, and she has no masteries currently. I debated putting them on, although she is fully booked, I believe. So A1, 35% chance, goes to 50%, just for placing a decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. So very nice. It's a single target, decrease attack on the A1. Makes it good for faction wars, good for pretty much dungeons, good for clan boss. If she's in an arena, you're not going to necessarily use the decrease attack. You'll use it as a stall champion, a high HP champion, but this is a fabulous A1. Decrease attack, reliable on the A1, is great because there is no cooldown for it. It's just a continuous move you have available. Necro mutation is healing all allies by 20% of her max HP. After healing, places a perfect veil buff for 2 turns on all allies with full HP, which is fantastic. So she's effectively, in most cases, the 20% HP she gives everybody should be topping them up, enabling that perfect veil. Then places a 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn instead on all allies with less than 100% HP. So again, Perfect Veil, or you get the continuous heal. The continuous heal, if you are slightly below, again will do the same job. It will just top you up to 100%, hopefully 100% HP. And then when Necro Mutation comes back around, you're hopefully getting the Perfect Veil, mitigating some damage. Next, on a 4-turn cooldown, you can book the heal up by 20%. I don't think it's 20% extra. I think it's 20% of 20% off whatever it is. So its Spirit Form is level 3. It's our A3. It's a 4-turn cooldown when you book it. Unbooked it's a 6. This will revive a single ally with 60% HP. So a respectable amount of HP. It fills their turn meters by 60%. Again, which is pretty respectable turn meter. This is a Perfect Veil buff on them for 3 turns, which is fantastic. So we revive someone, gives them a nice chunk of HP, fill their turn meters quite nicely, then put a Perfect Veil buff on them, which means they can't be attacked unless it's AoE, and if they are receiving damage, there's a lot of it being mitigated. It's really, really good. Master of Ghosts. Whenever an ally under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff gets a turn, heals up by 10% of their max HP. So that's why she was respectively fast. I wanted to make sure I got back to this heal and just to make her fast in general. Also, it increases the resistance of allies under Veil or Perfect Veil buffs by 50. So everybody, including herself, will get an increase of 50 resistance. Again, fantastic. Means debuffs ain't going to land. Gives you more sustainability, more safety, and that's what Rector Drath is just so good at. Will only increase res once per ally if there are multiple Rectors. But you could use 2 Rector Draths in some rare cases, but you only need 1. And her aura increases ally resist in Doom Tower battles by 55%. So what we're going to do is, I want to take her in. So first Spider, you pretty much could take her in as a Spider tank. She could be built that way. Well, what I decided to do was, I decided that we were going to go in. I'm going to start off, well, we'll start off in Dragon actually. Dragon or Ice Golem's Peak? Ice Golem's Peak. We'll go one side to the other. And we're looking at stage 20 because it's more realistic for most of the player base to be at 120. Urigrim could be any poisoner. Rotos again is purely for the block revive. It's not because of damage, it's not because he's Rotos. You could have Fenax, you could have Xavier, or Epics that have block revive, and that's all it is for. And it's purely just because he will revive the odds. If he revives the odds and he gets an attack, which we should be able to sustain it, it does hit per ad. So if they're both up 100% harder. So let's see how we go on here. If we should be at the boss roughly at about 2 minutes. We're not necessarily going for speed here. I did try putting Seer in, but then with no reset, we're still waiting for Seer. 5-turn cooldown for that move, so it takes long enough. We're not going for speed, we're going for sustainability. If we lose anybody, we have a reviver. If we need a heal, we have a healer. We have... She's taken... Already she's taken multiple turns. And the enemies ain't taking any turns. And half of my guys, they ain't taking turns either. She's just a healing machine. So crack on. So we're going to get past this wave in just a moment. It's not all about speed. It is about 100% success rates. So if you have Fenax, for instance, or if you don't want to use block revive, you don't have one, you don't have to use one. It just makes the run maybe a minute, 2 minutes longer, depending on how quick your team is. So wave 2 can be an issue, and it's because of the Terror Beasts and the Shriek mechanic, which reflects damage. So let's see, does that land? Okay, I think we got resisted. Drath is low on HP, but she's still in there. She's still alive, people. So we're going to slap you. We have takedown, a heal from wonderful teamwork and synergy from Eurogrim if they're actually on the same team, because of Eurogrim putting out continuous heals also. And he also has an A2, which is a really nice heal, so he can work really well with Rector Drath if he needs to. And we're 1 minute 50, so about 2 minutes, we're just about to hit the boss. And let's see how long it takes us to do this. So Rector was low on HP, she never died though. I wasn't really thinking that she was going to die. So if we can block revive one of the adds, we'll receive less damage. If we can keep them down, we should be able to mitigate most of it anyway. But let's see how it goes. So can Rotos block revive one, depending on if he has used his A2 already. And if it begins to take a little bit of time, we can't always skip forward. So he's dead, that's fine, he's going to come back up. Perfect Veil. So it won't be block reviving this time, because our vapors get some poisons up. I love it, fantastic. So I'm guessing this might take over 4 minutes. So because we're going to do this Dragon and Fire Knight, I think I'm going to just jump back in with you guys. Okay, maybe not. Well, we'll see how this goes. We'll give it a couple of seconds. Royal Guard did do a chunk of damage there. Yeah, I'm going to jump back in. Pretty much just when we're about to kill the Ice Golem, we'll jump in. We're going to check the heals from Rector Drath. And then we're going to progress on to the next dungeon. So guys, again, we're back. About to kill him pretty much as soon as we cut off. We blocked the revive one, Royal Guard did some damage, we've stacked some poisons, and as you can expect, we're doing fantastically well. So 4 minutes 45 seconds, again, not quick, but consistent, and we have 730,345 points of healing. So as far as a healer goes, that's more than Eurogrim. That's really cool. We did see her taking per other champion and per enemy multiple turns, which means just more heals in the long run. So Dragon's Lair, and we see what affinity 20 is. I don't think, okay, so all we're going to do is, so we take that 20, maybe just remove, so poisons, just some wave clear there. I mean, you don't necessarily need, again, Rotos. Do we put in somebody else? I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. Rotos, I guess the dragon is not as good as you would think. He does okay damage, but he's an enemy max HP. He is purely to get us through the waves with the Royal Guard, so Eurogrim can poison that dragon as quick as possible. Let's see how good she is in this dungeon. So straight away, Veil, we're mitigating damage, or continuous heals. Enemy is being debuffed. We've received a smack, we're getting heals left, right and centre. Again, a heal. She's a healing machine. Put her into curing. If you've ever watched Ash, he makes fantastic content. He put her Rector Drath into curing, and it was amazing. Just unkillable. The definition of unkillable. If you want to kill one of my guys, I implore you to do so. Because Rector Drath will revive this person, they will get a perfect veil, which means they're mitigating damage. Nice synergy again with Eurogrim. You don't necessarily need Eurogrim. You could take in Kale, you could take longer with Frozen Banshee, although I do like to use Kale. Just my free to play poisoner, quite enjoy him. But Eurogrim, as well as being a poisoner, is a pretty decent healer. So there's synergy there. We're on wave 2 after a minute, and let's see how we get on here. Yeah, the defense on some of these champions is a little bit higher. So let's see, they're going to take a turn, because with this team, we don't have like a miscreated monster, we don't have a Sylar, we don't have a You don't have a, what's her name, like a Vilisink controlling anybody. We are purely going in with damage and somebody that revives and heals. That's it. We're not taking in any control, any CC. And that was by choice. Just look at these heals Rector's doing. Forget about everybody else. Look at herself. She's just a healing machine. Boom, heal, boom, heal, heal, heal. It's ridiculous. Heal, ridiculous. Come on now. Heal, ridiculous. God almighty. It's as if it's like every turn is her turn. She finally does something else apart from the heal. She's a fantastic champion. So 2 minutes 15 seconds. When we get to the dragon, it will not take long to kick that dragon's butt whatsoever. If we get past the apothecary quick, yeah, we'll just slap him right now. If we get past the dragon about 3.5 minutes max, again, these runs are not for speed. But A, to show how good Rector is, and she's only level 51. But as factional moors, dungeons, Doom Tower, pretty much anywhere. Build her differently for arena, but in arena she was still good in like a defense team with other healers and revivers. Everywhere else she's fantastic. She could be good for progression. I used her when I cleared Knight's Rev. The video is on the channel, and she was a 50 then, and her revival was absolutely clutch, getting 3 stars. Because Knight's Revenant for me was such a pain in the butt. So we're halfway down now. We have some poisons. A poison from War Maiden also. Damage from Rotos. We'll get some poisons up. A heal to Royal Guard. Some damage. He's going to take a swipe. He's not going to kill anybody. If he does, they will be revived. Rotos is healing himself by his A2. Did we get decreased defense? I don't think so. We do have some Veil and a heal. So we're looking at roughly 4 minutes. Again, which is not that bad. We're going to be putting up some poisons to take care of this dragon. But the heals from Rector, just amazing. The Veils that go up, they are so good. They mitigate so much damage that you probably don't realise just how much damage they mitigate and how much it actually helps until you have her and then you have the ability to use her. So where we're going to go now is, ooh, did we freeze? Yeah, okay, yeah, so we're going to jump in. Lastly, we'll jump into Fernet's Castle, and then we'll end on that note. The spider dungeon, she could be built as a tank. I haven't really tested her in that dungeon, but I know she would work. I maybe need to. Mostly, she maybe would have enough resist and whatnot. Don't want to make the video too long though. These are the 3 dungeons I wanted to show you guys. The spider tank build could also be a fantastic bit of content if anybody is interested. We're going to look at this dungeon here, and before the end of the video I will wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're looking out for one another, looking after yourself. If you're in isolation, you know, just we will get through it. It's been a very difficult year. It's been a difficult 2 years and so forth, but always look on the brighter side and that things will get better, and just keep a bit of faith. This is of any part of the year, this is the time to have a bit of faith. You know, when people are allowed to come together, and even if it's through a computer screen, you're still coming together and whatnot. So I think we're going to just jump forward here. We're going to head to the boss. And we're at the boss, guys. 3 minutes, 18 seconds. Again, quite respectable. Not the quickest time, but a respectable time. Depending on who you have, it could be slightly longer, but We never lost anybody. We just had continuous heals from Rector Drath. It was quite insane. It was quite funny to a certain extent. Then the veils come up and then the heals come up. It's so good. So here we're basically looking to keep the turn meter down with Nethril and the Cold Hearts, and that's it. We get decreased speed from Stag, which is very, very handy. A lot of debuffs going on to this boss right now. And in just over a minute or so, a minute 20 seconds, he's probably going to be dead. If we get one more Heart Seeker, it's game over. Veiled up again, so we're taking the heal. And everybody knows just how squishy Cold Hearts can be. They can fall over, and they've basically been high health for most of it. They've had good heals, been protected by Drath like nothing that you've ever seen. Rector Drath did 685,000 plus points of healing. Again, not there for damage, she's there for heals, and she just heals continuously. She is an absolute phenom, and if you have her, get her built. You can use it at 50. She is absolutely a champion. You can use it at level 50. You just need to make sure that you give her high HP, a bit of resist and a bit of speed, and she is perfectly fine. So guys, that's a showing off of Rector Drath. A little bit of fun with her. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're having a happy Christmas experience. So, as always, stay safe, keep on reading, guys, and I will see you in the next video.